What happens to the he kidnaps? Where did Krampus really come from? Here are 5 scary Krampus urban legends. Number 5 on this list is summoning him. Krampus, being the half goat, half demon creature that he is, wouldn't really be the type of character that you'd want showing up to your Christmas party unexpectedly. That being said though, it hasn't stopped some people from actually trying to summon him. There are a few variations on how to do this, but none are particularly proven. The whole idea of summoning Krampus in the first place got a big boost in popularity after the horror comedy movie entitled Krampus was released in 2015. Now the inciting incident in that movie is when one of the main characters, a boy named Max, rips up his letter to Santa Claus as he loses his festive spirit, and then Krampus shows up to haunt the family shortly after that. This kinda got people wondering if there was any validity to this summoning technique and if they could rip up their letter to Santa Claus to summon Krampus themselves. Well, I am here to tell you that summoning Krampus isn't quite as simple as Hollywood portrayed it to be. In fact, even though there are several potential methods circulating around the internet, there isn't one confirmed method yet. Some have said that to summon him you need to take the blood of a goat and use it in a satanic ritual where you then vandalize Christmas paraphernalia. Others have tried to completely destroy any signs of Christmas and have the worst Christmas spirit ever, basically be a Grinch. Neither of these have worked and don't seem to have any legitimacy to them though. In actuality, it seems like the only way to get Krampus to show up to your doorstep is if you've been bad all year long. And even if you have done this, there's no guarantee that he's actually going to come. It's probably a good thing that there's no confirmed method to summoning him though, because willingly bringing this guy around probably isn't the best idea. Number 4 on this list is his torture lair. Krampus is inherently evil and will beat who've been bad all year round. He's truly the antithesis to Santa Claus, who will reward good behavior with presents. The beatings that Krampus doles out can be rather brutal. Legend says that he'll carry around a bundle of sticks and that's his weapon of choice for delivering these beatings. However, there are also some stories of Krampus being far more brutal than just the sticks. That getting hit with this bundle of sticks is actually the good side of Krampus, and for those who've been really bad, you'll get far worse. The authentic legend says that on December 5th and 6th in Austria, Krampus will go around with St. Nicholas and beat who've been bad. Whilst he's doing this, St. Nicholas will be going into the good children's homes and leaving presents for their good deeds over the year. Some variations on the legend though say that Krampus doesn't just come into your home to beat you, but comes into your home to take you away. Krampus is said to have a basket strapped to his back, but this basket, it's not filled with a bunch of presents. It's actually filled with a bunch of children. Children that Krampus has kidnapped and is now taking back to his evil lair. What happens at this evil lair? That's not currently known, but there's no limit to how bad things could get. People believe that Krampus has a full-on torture chamber for the children whose souls are so bad that there's no saving them. That these bad children will be taken into this torture chamber and kept there for the rest of their lives. For most kids, Krampus is only dangerous around Christmas time, but for these unlucky souls, Krampus would be year-round. Some people say though that Krampus will just eat the here, which, as horrible as it seems, might actually be better than being kept in his torture chamber for eternity. Hopefully, none of these legends are actually true though, and have just been exaggerated as time has gone on. Number 3 on this list is that Krampus is the son of Hell. Hell, spelled H-E-L, isn't in reference to the place, but actually a person. Britannica says that Hell was originally the name of the world of the dead. It later came to mean the goddess of death. Hel was one of the children of the trickster god Loki, and her kingdom was said to lie downward and northward. It was called Niflheim, or the World of Darkness, and appears to have been divided into several sections, one of which was the Nostrand, the Shore of Corpses. There stood a castle facing north. It was filled with the venom of serpents, in which murderers, adulterers, and perjurers suffered torment, while the dragon Nidhogg sucked the blood from their bodies. Mention is made in an early poem of the 9 worlds of Niflheim. It was said that those who fell in battle did not go to Hell, but to the god Odin in Valhalla, the Hall of the Slain. So Hel is obviously a pretty powerful deity in the Norse religion, and it would make a lot of sense if Krampus is their son. That's what some people believe in regards to the half-goat, half-demon. The whole origin story of Krampus, it's pretty hazy right now, but a demon that has the strength of Krampus would most likely come from somebody like Hel. Hel is a woman though, and is portrayed as such, and therefore it kind of begs the question, why would Krampus take the appearance of a goat-like creature? There's also no mention to the father of Krampus or if he even has one. If this was the case and Krampus was the son to hell, then potentially when he kidnaps the bad children, he's actually taking them to his mother's evil domain to live out the rest of their days there. It's not really been confirmed, so honestly guys, comment down below if you think this is possible, and if not, then what do you think Krampus's real origin story is? Number 2 on this list is the Catholic conspiracy. The legend of Krampus is said to have started in Austria many hundreds and hundreds of years ago. When it was starting, Christianity was growing very quickly and was gaining a lot of power around the world. The legend came out and obviously sort of goes against what the Bible says about Christmas time. After all, Christmas time is a time to worship Christ, not fear Krampus. Therefore, at the beginning of the legend of Krampus, the Catholic Church actually banned any mention of him and tried to snuff it out as soon as possible. Now on the surface, this looks as if the church is totally against the legend of Krampus, but some conspiracy theories have surfaced about how they may have actually started the whole thing to begin with. Krampus is believed to go after bad children who don't believe in Christmas. His punishments are brutal and can even be fatal. The best defense against Krampus is to fully buy into Christmas and be as good as possible all year long. Well, back then, fully buying into Christmas meant fully buying into the Catholic Church. The only way to stay safe from Krampus would be to go to church and be a good law-abiding citizen, and then all would be well. So when you think about it like that, it actually makes a lot of sense that this legend would have benefited the church's narrative. But if that's the case, well, why did they try to ban it? Well, the best way to make the public scared of something is if you yourself are scared of it as well. By completely banning the legend of Krampus, it actually gives the legend more power and more strength than if they just acknowledged it and then ignored it. This would have created the narrative that the church is actually scared of Krampus and therefore you or I should also be. It may be a little bit of a stretch, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody tried to create this legend to use it for personal gain, and the church, they may have just been the ones to do that. Number 1 on this list is his minions. One of the most known characteristics of Santa Claus are the joyous little elves that help him at the North Pole year round. These little creatures are fun and festive helpers that make all the presents and run the whole Santa Claus operation. Considering Krampus is the antithesis of Santa Claus, some people have speculated that Krampus has these helpers as well, except they aren't kind-loving elves. In a recent video, I spoke about the Yule Lads. The Yule Lads are 13 tiny gnome-like creatures that live with Gryla, a horrible ogre-like witch who eats around Christmas time. Now it's very possible that Krampus also has some Yule Lads of his own, or something very similar working for him. Some people even believe that instead of going to the torture chamber forever, the children that Krampus has taken, they're forced to work at his lair for the rest of their lives. That their bodies change into these demon-like helpers that must worship Krampus at all times and do his bidding. What isn't really talked about too much though is what these former humans would actually be working on. Santa Claus has presents that need to be made all year long, but Krampus doesn't give out any presents, he just gives out beatings. Potentially, Krampus has some other work that needs to be done in the underworld that we don't know about, considering he would be a pretty high-ranking demon. Either way, it's very likely that he doesn't live alone and probably has a bunch of demon helpers, potentially the people he's kidnapped, working for him year-round. Well, there you have it, guys. That is our list of the top 5 scary Krampus urban legends. Please comment down below what you thought about this list, and if you've heard of any scary Krampus urban legends before, I would love to hear them. I've been your host, Nicholas Playlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.